Hello and welcome to the Switch Underground. My name is Danny. We are back with Diablo 3. It has been a minute. It is officially season 22. It has been for a while, but I've just been pretty slow to get my character up. I've made a demon hunter. We're going to run the... I told myself I would know the names of everything, and I've already forgotten. The Gears of the Dreadlands Strafe build, or the God Strafe build, and we're running Bloodshed's little push build with some adjustments, and we'll talk about all that stuff a little later. There's a link below if you're curious what's going on. But let's get to the meat. I haven't pushed the GR70 yet, so it's time to get our Primal. Obviously, I've been cleared for a lot higher than that, but I haven't actually done it. The highest I've gone is 69. So this is my first time running 70. Hopefully we get a Primal that we can use. So we'll talk a little bit about the build, and I'll try not to die and all that stuff. So once you get in here, you're going to start firing your Hungering Arrow. It's going to give you 20 momentum stacks, and that momentum stack makes you go really fast when you're strafing. The only kind of funky thing is that you have to stop once in a while to get the momentum stacks back up. But as you can see, we pretty much destroy everything that we encounter. We go mega fast. It's super fun build to play. Where I'm at right now is gearing up my legendary gems and trying to get my cooldown reduction to where I can have 100% uptime on Vengeance. And that is the challenge. Let's see where we're at. Which way do we want to go? Let's go down. Maybe it's bad, maybe it's good. We'll find out. But it's been super cool. I put it off for way too long, playing the Diablo 3. The last, I think it's been 2 seasons actually, since I've actually done anything. One thing that's cool about season 22, as you're about to see right now, is every time you hit a pylon, you get a little shadow clone of yourself. And it's not as powerful like late game, but early on it is super helpful. The thing does a ton of damage, and you can just clear a lot of trash. And it's nice. If you get a speed pylon with this, you go, I think it's the fastest anybody can go in the game. It seems that way anyway. So you're basically managing 3 cooldowns that you want to keep up. You want your Vengeance, you want to use your Spirit Power, and you also want to use your, this one. Fan of Knives, duh. Bladed Armor. So in the beginning, when you're pushing stuff, you're killing stuff really fast, and you're feeling like, you know what? Why does this build have so much survivability built into it? You don't really even need it early on, because things die so fast. But it does prevent you from getting one shot, and if you're like hardcore, then you obviously don't want to die. But I stuck with it. What I like to do when I explore builds is I just try to build them as quick as possible, even if they're kind of bad and I don't need it. I just like to get used to the style and the rotation. That way when it does matter, I'm ready. Now maintaining those stacks, sometimes you forget just because you're going so quick. But you can see they're 9, 9, 9, and then 20. And the best way to charge them quickly is to just shoot at the wall. If you shoot through enemies, I don't know why, and I'm sure there's a reason that someone will explain, and is explained everywhere else, just not here accurately, but you don't charge stacks as fast when you're shooting through people. And I think maybe it has something to do with Hungering Arrow piercing stuff and not actually shooting out another one to charge the stack. But if you watch Riker's video on the build, he talks about how Strafe is the vehicle of which you will use to move around quickly and get out your Hungering Arrow. I mean, Hungering Arrow, which is your primary attack here, is the damage dealer, dude. Look at that, 650 billion. That is insane, bro. And it just, like, for a long while, it'll one-shot the Rift Guardians, and I think even now it's like maybe 2 shots or 3. It just depends which one you get. Okay, Rift Guardian is here. Predictions. We're just going to use Hungering Arrow. That's it. We're not going to use anything else. See how far he gets. We're just going to fire it off there. See? As soon as he pops around... Dead already, dude. And then that That musical chime to our ears, dude, of the legendaries and the primal. Okay, what is it? It's set pants. Oh my god, imagine if it's our set. Let's just look right now. It's not our pants. Mother effer. Imagine if we were running into the Shadow's Coil. That sucks, man. Well, we came, we saw, we conquered. Lame. So the gems that we're using in the build are Bane of the Trap, Simplicity, Strength, and the Taiguk, I guess we're gonna call it. We're trying to get this guy up to 25 because you get the armor increase. And this one's actually kind of neat to run with the Strafe build because if you see there it says 2.2 per increased damage for 1.5 seconds when you spend a resource channeled on a channeled skill, which our Strafe is. So whenever we're strafing, we're just stacking up the extra damage as we go. But when we get it to 25, we start stacking armor too, and that will really help with our survivability. So obviously I'm Paragon 390, and we're going to go look at all of our loot. Did we actually get new shoulders? We did not. So what we've been looking for is a flavor of time that's nice and socketed. The flavor of time is good because it lets us have pylons be double their length, and longer pylons are always good. Alright, Paragon. I actually kind of messed up on the Paragon here. One thing that I wanted to do is reset this. And I wanted to see what my movement speed's at, because I think I've got it distributed a little wrong. So this is our base movement speed. You can get a maximum of 25%. So we want to see what we're at now. So we're at 11. So we need 14. 14 movement speed from here. Boom. Done. And one thing that I messed up on was I was trying to get maximum hatred, but you don't really need hatred or vitality with this build. You're very tanky with the elusive ring. If you use the elusive ring in the cube, and this is a new thing for Season 22 as well, so you get the shadow people and then you have an extra power in the cube. But if you use the elusive ring, every time that you cast your shadow power, which is one thing we're trying to keep up on the ZL there, it lets us take 60% reduced damage for 8 seconds. Convention of Elements, of course. Depth Diggers, because Hungering Arrow is a primary skill, so we're stacking 100% damage there. And then Hungering Arrow is guaranteed to pierce and also deals 600% increased damage. So it's like 700% increased damage with Hungering Arrow. And we're using Dawn because of the cooldown on Vengeance. And then if we're using Vala's Bequest here because of the Strafe projectiles will pierce. And then if we look at the Gears of the Dreadlands bonuses, we see that here we get our momentum stacks defined, and you get 4 seconds of momentum. And then your primary skills deal 10% increased damage per second of momentum. So that's what, another 200% damage to Hungering Arrow. And then the 4 set is where we get the speed and the damage reduction from Strafe. So 8% speed times 20. I mean, you can do the math here. And then the big thing with the Gears of the Dreadlands that does it for the Hungering Arrow is the 10,000% increase in damage. And then we get more damage from using Focus and Restraint. So we get another 50% to our Hungering Arrow, and then also 50% from Strafe again. And it's just crazy, dude. It's crazy. Man, that is a bummer on that one. So we didn't get anything we can use. But all is not lost, dude, because we can go roll something at the Blood Shard lady. Let's talk to this guy.
Don't be shy.
So I'm thinking we're trying to go for amulets. I'm using Reaper's Wraps right now. If you look at Bloodshed's build below, he's actually using these Wraps of Clarity, which is really cool because Hungering Arrow is a hatred generator and you take reduced damage every time you use it. But I have a really big problem keeping up hatred right now. and I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. So for now, we're going to run the Reaper's Wraps. You can get those always. There's a recipe for them. If you go to Act... Is it 3 or 4? Or no, it's this one. It's this guy. It's not that guy. Is it 3? Must be 5. Yeah, there he is, dude. If you go kill Mathiel here, which you'll probably have to do for your season's journey anyway, he will always drop the recipe for Reaper's Wraps on the first kill. There might be a level requirement there. I don't know. Let's gamble some blood shards. We can buy 4 amulets. Imagine a flavor of time. And we're not going to get one. So if we don't get one there, we come over to the cube, see if we can upgrade a rare item. We don't have enough death breath to do anything. Do we have enough to... Oh, we can reforge a legendary, though. So there's like a ton of chances, right? You can get the drop. You can go spend the blood shards, get it there. If you don't get one from the blood shards, you can try to go upgrade some of the lame ones that you did get. Or you can bank away of an item that you want to be better, which we can't use this without a socket, so we want a good one. And you can reforge it. So let's go. So there's a lot of opportunity to get the gear that you want. And that is terrible. Lame. So we're going to go put this one back in. So as far as plans of, you know, the kind of Diablo stuff that we can expect going forward, I might just take it in 5s. Sometimes I do 10s, but 5s are cool too, just to see like incrementally how things are performing. So we just did the 70 and got our Primal. After this, we'll try 75, see how it feels. And this feels bad, but I guess I'll save it. I don't want to dump Primal. That feels terrible. But right now, we're working on getting our gems upgraded from the greater rifts, and also eventually we'll need to augment all of our gear. And also making sure that we get ancient versions of things or primal ones. So we got really lucky when we made this build initially, like in the beginning, because we got an ancient legendary dawn right off the bat, and then we got this one right after that, and then we got lucky on the belt too. Hunter's Wrath. Your primary skills attack 30% faster and do 200 increased damage. I haven't even re-rolled any of these things yet, so there's plenty of room to grow and make things better. And it's been a really fun build so far. So I would highly recommend it. And it's pretty forgiving too. Oh, we didn't talk about the power or the skills. So the skills, we got Numbing Traps. That's because when we use our Fan of Knives, we have a skill there that does it as cold. So that we do reducing damage there, but we also do increased damage, I think, to cold here somewhere. And most of our skills are built around survivability, right? We get our cheat death mechanic, and we get our, well, this one's not for survivability at all. 40% initial damage to enemies above 75% health. It helps with the one-shotting of trash and stuff, and then life and on hit, and all kinds of good stuff here. So as far as the skills, Hungering Arrow, Devouring Arrow, increase the damage with each enemy pierced. We're using Dark Heart to reduce all the damage taken when we use Vengeance, and the Bladed Armor for Fan of Knives to get more armor, and then our Shadow Power is we're using Gloom on there to reduce damage taken, and then we're using our Prep to restore the Discipline, which will allow us to keep using our Shadow Power if we run out. So it's pretty cool. You get in there, you whap, whap, whap. You move really fast when you do that. And then for Strafe, we're using the homing rockets. And we can see the Taiguk down there that charges up 2 as we're moving C2, 3, 4, 5. And that's just stacking our damage, dude. And that's cool. One thing that PC players can do that I can't figure out how to do on the Switch is they're able to actually do this and fire off a Hungering Arrow. I can't do it unless I stop. But they seem to be able to do it while strafing somehow. I'm not sure why. How. You're able to like hold your position or something like that. Anyway, it don't matter. The important thing here is that Diablo 3 is back on the radar, and I owe a lot to this game. A lot of you came here initially from my Diablo videos, so I'm happy to be back at it, and it's really fun this season. So I'm not sure how high we're gonna get, Bloodshed seems to think that even if you're a complete noob, you can get up there if you get all the gear to like, GR 110, but I don't know. We'll see. We're doing a ton of damage right now. Stuff isn't super tough, so we're going to see what the 75 feels like. And we'll go from there. So I will see you guys back in the next one. If you're playing this season, let me know what you're rolling up. I'm always curious what people are liking to play. And I think that's it, man. Take care.